Welcome, my name is Megan Franzen. I'm a patient care supervisor at Patients Medical. We're a holistic medical center in Midtown East Manhattan, and it is a beautiful spring day, perfect for talking about spring cleaning for your body, also known as liver detox. And so I'm here with Dr.Vivian, DeNise, Elisa Haggarty, and Alex Negron today, and we're going to give you information that you absolutely need to know. And as you'll find out later on, everybody needs a detox, not just in spring, but probably year-round. And we're going to tell you why everyone needs a detox, how to do it, and then also some best practices just as far as products go. So without further delay, let's spring into it. We're Patients Medical. We're a full-service holistic medical center. We integrate modern medicine with holistic practices. We're actually located on 800 2nd Avenue, Suite 900, between 42nd and 43rd Streets, very close to the UN. You can see us right here, the red little A mark. And we're super close to Grand Central, and then also FDR. So if you're driving in or taking a train, accessible by either. We invite you at Patients Medical to discover health, rediscover vitality. So what does that mean? You know, so many people are walking around every single day feeling utterly miserable, and honestly, they have taken for granted that that is the way their life is supposed to be. They're supposed to wake up feeling tired, feel uninspired about their work, and the work that they're doing every day. They're going to feel exhausted by noon. They're going to run out and grab whatever they can for lunch that's closest by their office, and they're going to sit at their desk and eat lunch and then feel like they need a nap mid-afternoon, and then finish work, go have a drink, and then pass out on their couch in front of the TV, only to wake up in the middle of the night with insomnia and not be able to get a good night's sleep and start all over every day. So, you know, you can break this pattern, and it's fairly easy. Our patients find that after seeing our doctors only for a couple of visits, they might make a few minor tweaks in their nutrition or their lifestyle or possibly even the medications that they're on. And our patients are able to sleep at night. They wake up feeling energized and rested, optimistic about their day. They are able to focus at work, and a whole bunch of other things. Their relationships become healthier and deeper. They're able to progress in their personal and professional goals. All of this just from a couple visits with one of our doctors. So we want to promote healing and actually prevent disease. So if you already don't have something major that you're seeing a doctor for, that's okay. It's good to come in and see our doctor and just kind of optimize your health. Our doctors focus on the root cause of symptoms instead of just trying to mask the symptoms with medication, and avoid a Band-Aid cure. So that is just, you know, putting a superficial medication over these deep-lying symptoms, and it doesn't really address the root cause of the problem. Our doctors want to do the diagnostics to figure out what's actually happening to cause the symptoms and then fix that so that the symptoms just kind of magically disappear. Our founder, Dr. Warren Levin, started practicing his groundbreaking holistic protocols in 1974. You know, so that was the beginning of his journey and the beginning of Patients Medical. But a lot of the things that we're implementing today, our doctors are using, go back hundreds, if not thousands of years to traditional ancient healing arts. And we combine that with our most cutting-edge Western medical technology and diagnostics to give you a variety of different protocols that will work for each individual person. As you can see, we have grown quite a bit from just a one-man practice with Dr. Warren Levin. Now we have, well, let's see, we have 12 listed here. We actually have 13 doctors now. Dr. Schaffner is actually not listed on here yet, but he will be soon. So we have a multi-specialty practice here available for you. Everything from internal medicine, Chinese medicine, alternative pain management, gynecology, integrative medicine, pediatrics, psychopharmacology, oncology, hematology, immunology, plastic surgery, and much, much more. And our doctors actually collaborate to approach each patient holistically, which means that you don't have to scurry around town trying to bring your labs from one doctor to the next and worry about what your other doctor is going to think about the first doctor's protocol and whether they agree or not. That doesn't happen here. All of your labs and your medical records stay under one roof in one chart so that all of your doctors can collaborate on them and agree on a wellness protocol, so you don't have to stress out about one doctor not agreeing with the other. That's already done for you. The result is to gain health and nutritional wisdom that can be applied for years to come, and not just for you, but for your partner, for your kids, for your parents, for your entire community. We love it when you share your holistic and wellness protocols, the ones that are appropriate, of course, with your community, because it's so much more fun to get together at a family gathering when everybody is making healthy choices, not just you. So I believe that at Patients Medical, we have the definition of integrative medicine. So bringing together holistic practices with the latest diagnostics and cutting-edge technology in Western medicine to bring you an entire wellness protocol that is appropriate for you and your condition and serves you best. Our speakers today, Dr. Vivian DeNise. She's our integrative internal medicine physician, and she also does holistic pediatrics. She completed her medical degree at New York College of Osteopathic Medicine. She's certified in integrative medicine with the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, or the AFRM. She earned her fellowship in anti-aging and regenerative medicine and has been certified by the American Board of Anti-Aging and Regenerative Medicine. Her specialties are myriad, but this is a short list: detoxification, hormonal imbalances, nutritional deficiencies, thyroid disorders, weight loss, gastrointestinal problems, women's and men's wellness, pediatrics, and many, many more. I'm also going to introduce another speaker, Elisa Haggarty of Culinary Pharmacy. She's a certified holistic health coach and natural food chef. She received her professional holistic health coaching training at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and she's training at the Natural Gourmet Institute as well. She has studied over 100 different dietary theories, and she uses food, stress management, and other techniques to help women and men live an abundantly rich life. We also have with us today Alex Negron, who is our supplements advisor here at Patients Medical. And if you want to get to know him better, I invite you to come into our office or just give us a call, and he will hook you up with the best supplements that you're looking for. All right, so thinking about liver detox, this is a huge issue, not just in spring, but year-round. So, Dr. DeNise, we did a seminar about this at the beginning of the year, and people were very inspired with their New Year's resolution. Now it's spring, and people are feeling motivated to cleanse their bodies. They're feeling more vigorous and active. So, can you tell us a little bit about what is detox? What does it really mean?
Well, detoxing is really getting rid of toxins that are in our body, usually through the gastrointestinal tract. We kind of concentrate on the liver, which will become apparent as we go through our talk of why it's so important.
Great.
And this is a slide showing you, what happens with good substances versus bad substances and how they get through the liver.
And while detox looks like a very complicated process, it can actually be quite simple to implement, and we'll find out more about that later.
So toxins are anything that has a harmful effect on your body. They can be internal, they can be external, and we're going to see. They're all around us.
That's kind of depressing to think about, right? And we can't escape them. The best we can do is detoxify.
Well, we're detoxifying every minute of every day. Mm-hmm. You're detoxifying right now. I am. Alex is. Anybody listening to us is detoxifying. But it's whether we are overburdened with toxins or our liver just isn't functioning as well as it could be.
So where do these toxins come from? You say they're all around us. How can that be?
Well, we break it down to environmental, to lifestyle, and internal. Environmental, we talk about, we all know about, pollution and pesticides, but there's also radiation from people who are flying frequently, especially the red-eye flights. You're exposed to quite a bit of radiation in the air.
Really?
Gasoline, paint thinners, glues, heavy metals are all around us.
Mm.
And inhalants are especially toxic because they enter the brain through the cribriform plate, which is right at the back of the nose. So they have like a direct way to get there. They also cause damage to the brain, the liver, the lungs. And xenoestrogens, we can't say enough about these. These are also called endocrine disrupting complexes. And, xeno in Greek means foreign. These are substances that act like perhaps estrogen, but they don't let the same function happen. So they attach to the receptor sites, but it doesn't let the action actually happen.
Mm. And so this is actually important. Well, it sounds important for men because men are like, oh, I don't want any weird estrogens in my body. I'm a guy. But for women, this can be dangerous too, right?
It's dangerous for everybody.
Heavy metals.
Well,
more than just hard music, right?
We all think about we're not exposed to heavy metals, but in fact we're exposed to heavy metals all the time. Everybody knows that lead is a neurotoxin. Children are required to get tested at 1 year of age and at 2 years of age in New York. There's 100 different enzymes in our body that require, if you see, mercury and lead displaces zinc, and cadmium displaces copper. Zinc has 100 functions in our body. If it's not allowing the zinc to act appropriately, a lot of enzyme reactions aren't going to happen, and that causes a myriad of problems. In fact, some children who have ADHD are zinc deficient, and some are copper deficient.
Wow, so that's really something to look at in kids especially, mercury, lead, cadmium, get it tested.
Right. And, sources of mercury, yes, we all know eating shellfish has a lot of mercury. There's a lot of talk about, you should replace your dental amalgams, and that may or may not be a good thing, a wise thing to do. But you can breathe contaminated vapors in. And all those antiseptics that everybody's using and carrying on their purses, and you walk into schools and they use those antiseptic cleansers, they're high in mercury. That's what makes them antiseptic. And then, you eat something and it goes into your body.
In fact, the kids in schools, that's actually when they use them, is before snack time and before lunchtime.
Right.
They're putting these on their hands and putting their little hands all over the food in their mouth. I mean, what a disaster.
Well, what a disaster, but I have to say it's a brilliant marketing campaign. You can't walk into a school, a grocery store, they're all around.
Mm.
And, sources of lead we all know about, air pollution. But, what about lipsticks? What about, just paints and newspaper ads and hair dyes? And everybody thinks, oh, arsenic, there's no arsenic around. But in fact, antibiotics have arsenic in it for livestock of meat that we're eating.
Mm.
And playground equipment is treated with arsenic, when it's wooden.
Wow. So that's just one more reason to get antibiotic-free animal protein. One of the many reasons. All right, aluminum.
We all know aluminum is in antacids and antiperspirants, but how many people, it's coming up to grilling season, how many people are going to put aluminum foil on their grills, to grill meat? Not that any high temperature cooking is good for you, but for the times that you do, don't use the aluminum foil.
Or you put your vegetables in there thinking you're doing something healthy by grilling vegetables,
Right.
but you're putting them in aluminum foil. Not a big win there.
No.
Ooh, I love this picture.
I do too.
I'm not a coffee drinker, but I know lots of people who look like that.
Especially in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, caffeine is a problem because it constricts your blood vessels and it doesn't allow your brain to get the proper amount of blood flowing. And abuse is defined by not being able to stop after a drink or two. It's associated with decreased blood flow to the brain. It also causes depletion of vitamin D, which is essential in memory and learning.
Mm.
And we're very excited to be partnering with Dr. Amon's group. This is a brain scan that he does at his clinic, and it shows the normal brain versus the brain after alcohol use. I don't know, which brain would you rather have?
Well, I definitely don't want the one that looks like Swiss cheese. That's definitely not the one I want. But that's really startling. If that doesn't really help you take another look at what you're actually putting into your body and the physical effects of what is happening to your brain, imagine what your liver looks like if you could do a scan like that for your liver, too.
You know, and alcoholism is starting earlier and earlier.
Very sad.
And this is for marijuana and other recreational uses. You know, inexperienced, occasional, users have a decrease in blood flow, but chronic users have an overall decreased blood flow to the brain. Not only that, but just as in tobacco, you know, you don't know what else is in the marijuana that you're smoking.
That's
and
true.
what other toxins are in there.
Mm-hmm. So we're not necessarily saying grow your own. We're saying probably just don't use it. And here are those brain scans again. Wow. You know, and we don't have the particular brain scan that I'm thinking of, but Dr. DeNise showed me one of somebody who only was a weekend user.
Right.
And still very, very holy brain.
Yeah. But the good news is that if you stop using or abusing, your brain can return to normal.
Thank goodness. All right, prescription drugs. So, you know, we usually think, my doctor wrote me a prescription, it's safe, right? Maybe not.
Most likely not. And as a matter of fact, well, we'll get into the prescription drugs, but the worst poisoning of all, which will kill you in a matter of hours, is acetaminophen or the brand name Tylenol.
Mm.
It can literally kill you within a couple of hours.
Wow.
You know, and then we have to think about food additives and colorings and preservatives. You know, MSG, this is according to the NIH. This is the MSG, or the Chinese Food Syndrome Complex. Numbness, tingling, you know, facial pressure, tightness, you know, nausea, chest pain, difficulty breathing. And MSG does not have to be stated. It could be stated as of chicken flavoring or natural flavorings. Anytime you see natural flavorings, it's telling you that there's MSG in there.
Not so natural. You know, and it's really surprising this is still on the market, that this is still being added to food, even though people react so poorly. I remember when I was little, my mom used to get migraines after eating Chinese food, and this is why.
Right. And of course the Coke. You know, there was just a study done possibly about a month ago that there was a direct link to how many sodas you drink and your incidence of stroke, even in children.
Wow. Incidence of stroke in children?
Yes, the incidence of stroke is increasing in children. So if you stop drinking one soda a day, you're saving 28.7 pounds of sugar. And it's usually in the form of high fructose corn syrup, which is a whole nother lecture in and of itself. But And if you think you're doing yourself a favor by saying, oh, okay, I'll drink the Diet Coke, well, the aspartame changes to formaldehyde in your brain.
Not better. That is not better at all. And even something like if you're trying to make a healthier choice, and you're choosing like the teas, like the sweetened teas, and it says, all natural, it still has sugar in it.
8 teaspoons of sugar per serving, and most of those bottles are more than 1 serving.
Tricky. Very, very tricky. All right. Other lifestyle toxins.
Okay. Well, we all know that nicotine isn't good. We know about meats containing, hormones and antibiotics. That includes milk, by the way, and refined and processed foods.
You're kidding. Easy cheese is not good for you? Oh, no offense to easy cheese, but hopefully we all know that by now.
And then there's internal toxins. Do you have a yeast infection? Or is your GI tract functioning optimally? If not, why not? Metabolic reactions, undigested food, and of course, stress. And who doesn't have stress these days? If it's not economic stress, it's, family stress. It can't be understated or overstated.
And I really, I think a lot of people can connect with unresolved trauma or abuse, unhappy relationships. Now, that's something that you don't typically think of as, toxic to your body. I mean, sure, they have like the toxic relationship, label. You see that on the magazine covers. Are you in a toxic relationship? But it actually is physically toxic for your body.
Because it has an effect on your adrenal glands, and your adrenal glands have effect on your gut, on your thyroid, on your almost every gland, every organ in your body.
Yeah, so stop that toxic relationship because it might literally be killing you.
So there are many symptoms of toxicity, and it doesn't have to be all these. It could be one of these. It could be some of these. Usually the people who have multiple allergies, I have terrible environmental allergies, and I'm allergic to milk, and I'm allergic to cheese, and I can't have gluten. There's usually an underlying toxicity there. If you're just tired or your headaches, I have children coming in a lot with headaches. Headaches are a very frequent case for the doctor.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are running around with headaches, and they have no idea. They have no clue what to do about it besides take more medication.
And usually the traditional doctors don't have a clue either.
More symptoms of toxicity. The dark circles under the eyes. Who doesn't have those? Insomnia, skin disorders, anger.
Anger is a big, big topic. But sinus infection, people say, I just can't get rid of my sinus infection. It could be a number of different things.
All right. So, supposing that we do have some toxins in our bodies, how do we exactly determine the extent and what to do about it next?
Megan, this is probably what we do a little bit differently here. We spend a long time. We get an extensive history going back as far as, infancy. I had somebody come in who had ADHD, and I found out that the mother ate tuna fish every day during her pregnancy. So it could actually come from as far back as in utero. And we spend a long time speaking with you. Then we decide which test would yield more results for us. Is it going to be a urine test for heavy metals? Is it going to be a blood test for heavy metals? Stool test for yeast? Saliva test for hormones? Which is going to, or maybe we need more than one kind of testing.
Very comprehensive. So you have these toxins and you figure out what's the best way to get rid of them, but you were saying that your body is constantly doing this already. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're constantly sweating. As a matter of fact, people who don't want to sweat, it's really not a healthy sign if you can't sweat. Usually the better you feel, or when you detoxify, you will start sweating. Urine, you detoxify through the urine, through the stool, but fat-soluble toxins must go through the liver first in order to detoxify or come out of your body. And most toxins are fat-soluble. And what fat-soluble means is that they actually dissolve in the fat cells in your body, which is hard, and that's one of the reasons why it's so hard to get rid of them, because they're kind of stored there.
Really?
But their effects still, build up.
Okay, and so what does that mean for the person who has a lot of extra fat on their bodies? Does that mean anything different for them?
Yeah, they're probably storing a lot more toxins. And when they start losing weight, that's another thing. When you start losing weight, or you're possibly considering bariatric surgery, and you have a rapid weight loss, that the fat will dissolve and the toxins become mobile.
So you really need to partner with a holistic doctor at that point, and make
Actually,
sure
you're better off to start partnering first
Yeah.
if you're considering bariatric surgery or weight loss.
Okay, be proactive about it. And there's the liver right there. It's a pretty big organ.
The liver is probably one of the biggest organs we have, and it sits on the right upper quadrant of your abdomen.
So here's a little bit of an illustration. What you were just talking about, the fat-soluble toxins, there we see it up there. And then phase 1 and phase 2 to the water-soluble elimination.
Right. So what phase 1 is, and I'm not going to make this a in detail explanation, but what phase 1 does is when the toxins enter the liver, the cytochrome P450 enzymes kind of piggyback a molecule on it. It's called a functional group, which as it passes through phase 2 of the liver detoxification, it then allows it to become more water soluble. But if you look down on the bottom of the slide, you see that we need certain nutrients to make that happen. In phase 1, glutathione is extremely important, as in phase 2, and you need a lot of B vitamins. So as I was telling you before, if you don't have a healthy gut, which is where you absorb most of your B vitamins from, then you can't detoxify. So sometimes it's not only that you have too many toxins or your liver can be working, but if you can't absorb your B vitamins, then even if your liver's healthy and your toxins are there, if you don't have your B vitamins, your liver can't do its job.
Yeah, and this is really going to be a little bit important as well when Alex talks about one of the things that we sometimes recommend here at Patients Medical for detoxification and the nutrients that it has in it.
See, most people think that when they take a product to detoxify, it's actually pulling the certain chemicals out of the body, which is not true. What it's doing is it's making sure you have everything your body possibly needs to maximize your own detoxification.
So it's just enhancing the current detoxification processes that are already happening in your body.
Right. Unless you're going through chelation, which we also offer here, that's the only way where something else would be pulling out the substances from your body.
Okay. All right, and so when is the best time to detox? I think it's spring, but what do you think it is?
Any time is the best time to detox.
Okay.
All the time is the best time to detox because, as we just went over, the toxins have a huge effect on your body. But the one time you don't want to detox, you don't want to fast. Fasting is probably the worst way to detox.
So have a plan. Work with a holistic doctor to make sure that it works for you. All right. Detoxes that Dr. DeNise does not recommend. And there are so many of them out there on the market, and it seems like there's a new book every day an article in your women's magazine or, I don't know, in the newspaper about some detox plan, but, are a lot of them junk?
Everybody jumps on the bandwagon,
Mm-hmm.
but we practice here evidence-based medicine, and we do it with labs, and we do it methodically, and we do it with purpose. Mm-hmm. You just don't detox, and because you don't know what they're selling you, really.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we already talked about fasting, master cleanse, detoxes that involve only eating fruit or fruit juices, the lemon detox diet, anything, all of those sound really extreme.
I've had people who do colonics every day.
Every day? Wow.
Every day.
That sounds horribly unpleasant.
Not only that, but it's very unhealthy.
Yeah.
But, you can support your own body's detox by just simple things. Very, very simple. Just drink a lot of clean water. And bottled water is not necessarily the best alternative. Sweating, increasing, just exercising, not overdoing it, 20 minutes 3 times a week. Sleeping is understated. You cannot detox if you're not getting the proper amount of sleep. Of course, eating increased fiber, cruciferous vegetables. Yoga is great because it helps you breathe deep. It gets everything flowing. Meditation. If you have the chance of an infrared sauna. Here we do have hyperbaric oxygen. We also can use IV drips to increase your vitamin C levels and your glutathione levels, which is really important for liver detoxification. And these are just, I don't want everybody running out and buying these. It depends on what your situation is. It depends on what your lab shows. Everybody I do feel belongs on a good probiotic. Chlorella is a great detox for heavy metals. But, as far as the NAC and the glutathione, you really need to be partnered with people who know what they're doing.
And that's not the internet.
No.
Don't let Google give you any medical advice, please. So thank you so much, Dr. DeNise. So Alex, tell us a little bit about this Core Restore BT. And this is something that we use here at Patients Medical. And we've been using it for quite a while, and many of our doctors recommend it for people who, as Dr. DeNise was saying, just need a boost to the detoxes that are already happening in their body. So tell us a little bit more about it, Alex.
Sure. This is a 7-day kit providing everything you need to embark on your detox experience. This is a safe, natural way that can be done with or without physician supervision.
Best to do with physician supervision, but again, this is not something that's going to be scary, and people who are new to detoxification can partner with a doctor and do this easily.
Now, each day...
Sorry, and we also just want to mention that you can order it online at patientsmedical.com/store.
Or you can come and see me.
Or you can come and see Alex, which is much more pleasant.
Now, each day is vital to the support of Phase 2 detox pathway. As Dr. DeNise mentioned, this is where the toxins are actually removed from the body. Nature's natural detoxifiers tend to be plant-based or vegetable-based ingredients. Core Support has a great tasting cherry vanilla rice protein. This contains vital nutrients that regulate Phase 2 detox pathway.
And when Alex says that it's great, he's not just blowing smoke there. It actually does taste way better than pretty much any other detox shake that I've ever had. And if you're curious, you should just taste it for yourself.
Definitely. Now, each serving size provides 15 grams of organic rice protein, 5 grams of fiber, betaine. Other ingredients include VitaVeggie and green tea. Now, detox is an energy-intense process with ingredients such as N-acetylcysteine, acetyl-L-carnitine, and alpha-lipoic acid. Now, detoxification requires high amounts of vitamins and minerals. These are essential cofactors to the detoxification process in our body. The kit also includes alpha-base. This is a high-potency, high-quality multivitamin. By taking this alone, most patients feel significant improvement just on this product alone.
And I have to say, this is a pretty easy vitamin to take. It's not too big to swallow. It's pretty easy.
Definitely. Now, the last product in the kit is PhytoCore. This is our herbal formula designed to support phase 1 and 2 detox pathways. This breaks up fat in the liver and allows bile to move from the liver to the gallbladder. This is extremely important.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
This is taken on day 3 of the detox after we've corrected our body's phase 2 detox capacity.
All right.
Now, in the Detox Core Kit, there's a patient guide which directs each patient how to take the supplement, but also contains a grocery list, recipes, and the meal plan as well. Now, not only is detox important, but lifestyle and diet are key components to the Core Restore, and this product delivers that as well. Now, the Core Restore is a 7-day protocol, and pretty much, just to give you a brief overview, day 1 and 2, you will undergo a modest fast. This is not a true fast. As Dr. DeNise mentioned, that's not good. You're still consuming 30 grams of protein, 10 grams of fiber, and getting a significant amount of micronutrients. Now, day 3 to 7, you will introduce whole foods back into your diet, and you will do this with the help of a diet plan that's included in the kit. This helps you guide through clean eating with different menu selections and a grocery list to aid you in helping your diet. Now, day 3, PhytoCore will be added to your daily regimen, which kicks the liver into high gear.
And Alex, one of the things I really love about this is in the patient guide, it has foods that you can eat to increase your detoxification, foods that you can avoid. It has recipes. It has a grocery list. It has a calendar for you, so you really can't go wrong.
Yes, definitely. A lot of tools that will be helpful in your detoxification experience. Mm-hmm. Now, the 3 main goals of the program are to remove, which you do that by removing all additional toxic burdens from your diet and lifestyle. This includes gluten, dairy, and alcohol. The next goal is restore, and this is done by drinking purified water and drinking the Core Support formula. And finally, revitalize. By taking PhytoCore capsules and by eating detox-friendly foods, you will reach your goal in your detoxification process.
Great. And Alex, you know that I actually did this detox myself,
yes, yep.
And you were speaking with me while I was doing it. Dr. DeNise also knew that I was doing it. It was about maybe a month and a half ago. And so I was excited just to share a little bit about the effects that I felt while on the detox. So first of all, I want to say that what Alex was saying is absolutely true. Completely easy to follow. The instructions are very simple. It's not complex at all. You're not having to, only take this in the morning but not in the evening, only take that in the evening but not in the morning. It's completely easy. It's great for busy people. So I did this actually the majority of the time while I was working. Actually, 5 of the 7 days that I did this, I was at work. And some people say, oh, well, you should take the week off or something like that to really achieve maximum detoxification. But, there are people like me who I'm not going to be able to take a week off just to detox. And so it was very doable at work. I had no crazy detox side effects, so it wasn't like I was running to the bathroom or feeling dizzy or headachy or anything like that. It was a very pleasant experience.
Did you have any cravings?
Did I have any cravings? So the first day I did the modified fast with just drinking the detox shake all day long, and I could, the first day I felt so satiated by that. The second day in the morning I felt very satiated, but then by the end of the day, I needed something to eat. So I just added a little salad, and then I was totally fine. So that was one of the things that that was one of the times I felt like I intensely needed something. I was thirsty a lot on it, but that was good because
Right.
my body was telling me I needed to drink even more water than I was probably already drinking. I didn't have any crazy sugar cravings. I didn't have any cravings to like, oh man, I wish I was out partying with my friends or anything like that. I didn't have any big cravings on it. In
How
fact,
was your energy level?
like kind of like usual. I'm a pretty high energy person in general, and I didn't feel that change. If anything, I felt more kind of mental clarity, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But you know, I also want to talk about how you can tweak it to your preference. So they give you a list of foods that you can include and foods that you should not use. But you can pick any of those foods on the very, very long list. And if you don't like some of them, there are plenty of others to choose from. So if you like, you know, berries and not apples, or if you like, you know, salad and not kale, it's okay. You can
So you could fit
design
into
your
your
own.
family
Exactly.
diet with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's completely doable for a full-time working single mom on a budget. In fact, I saved money on this because I wasn't buying all of these snacky things when I was out. I packed my good Whole Foods, my detox kit along with me to come to work, and I didn't really need anything else. In fact, the shake kind of filled the gaps where I would have been snacky. So I actually just felt better. I felt more focused, more radiant. I actually remember walking down 42nd Street to work from Grand Central on the second morning of it and just noticing how blue the sky was and hearing the flags flapping in the wind kind of for the first time. So I wasn't on any drugs or anything like that. I was just feeling really mentally clear and super focused instead of having my brain already be ahead of me at work or be behind me at my kids' school where I just dropped him off. I was just really present, which is such a gift, especially in this day and age where your brain can be so many other places besides just kind of in you. My goal was not weight loss, but I did feel fitter while I was on it. So, you know, coming up from Grand Central, there are some stairs, and it was easy just to kind of jog right up instead of hoofing it up. You know, spiritual benefits as well. Just feeling more grounded and centered. I had kind of a stressful experience with another person while I was on it, and I remember actually in the moment having the time to think about how I was going to react to that stressful experience. And so it's hard to describe it, but just in the moment, I actually felt really good about the choices that I was making instead of just simply reacting how I would have reacted before.
So that's speaking for your internal toxins as well.
Absolutely. Toxic relationships, right? And then just, it was an excellent opportunity for me to shift my lifestyle into something that was more fulfilling. So once I got a taste of feeling really clear and really focused, very grounded and centered, and you know, focusing on my spirit a little bit more, I was less excited to go back to feeling stressed out and tired and bogged down every day, and way more motivated to kind of keep that same lifestyle up. So that was my experience, and I would love to hear what your experience is when you try detoxing, and not just on the core support or core restore, any type of a detox that you do. I invite you to email me at media@patientsmedical.com, and I would love to hear your detox story. All right, so learning how to make detoxification delicious. And we have Elisa Haggarty with us of Culinary Pharmacy, and she is a specialist in detoxification lifestyle and making it delicious and not burdensome. Elisa, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Great, great. And I'm excited to hear what you have to say about this.
Yeah, well, this is one of my favorite topics, the concept of detoxing, and just echoing everything that you guys said. You're spot on, and the good thing is that we don't have to suffer through detoxification. Like Dr. DeNise said, we are detoxifying every day. So certain foods really enhance that detoxifying process, and certain foods really hinder it, or make it harder. So one of the quotes I love to live by that kind of segues into what we're going to be talking about today is really, letting food be thy medicine and medicine thy food. And it's this age-old concept that somehow in this current day and age we've forgotten about. But just look at all those beautiful images of food, and health is delicious. Health is about abundance. So I'm excited to talk to you guys today about detoxing. So yeah, my health journey actually started from a place of really poor health. I actually was years ago dealing with a lot of anxiety and depression, and a lot of the doctors I went to were just traditional Western medicine doctors. And since depression and anxiety was running in my family, they sort of just prescribed a lot of medications for me. And at the time I was a lot younger, and so I didn't know anything about food and healing. I didn't know anything about detoxifying. I didn't know the first thing about anything with regards to food and health. So I really started to dive into how I could really transform my mind, my body, and my soul through not only the life I live, my levels of stress, but the food that I ate. And a lot of the doctors just prescribed me, depression medication, anxiety medication. And after about a year of taking those medications, I realized that they weren't really solving the problem, and they didn't really address my unique physiology, my unique, personality. So I started to really sort of see what could I do on my end to really kind of, formulate my own healing path, if you will. So I started to question the doctors. I would ask them, well, does my diet play a part in anything? And they would say, no, diet has nothing to do with depression or anxiety or health. And I just sort of was an alarming statement on their end. So I started to play with my breakfast and play with how much sugar I was eating every day. And I started to realize that, I had a huge, say in my health with regards to what I was eating every day. And nobody had ever told me that before. So, I was eating like Frosted Flakes in the morning. I was eating Starburst and Twizzlers for snacks. I was eating a Gatorade before and after my workouts. I was basically living on sugar, and that was setting me up for what I call glucosters throughout the day. Tons of highs and then tons of crashes. I'm sure if you're listening, you've been in that moment where, you've had a meal, whether it be pasta or you've had a lot of sugar, and then very shortly after you're incredibly tired. So I was kind of on that what I call glucosters every day, and that certainly impacted my mood. So I encourage you, if you're listening, to just totally question everybody that you come in contact with, and to really sort of formulate your own understanding of your own body, and really, dig deeper and really sort of see what works for your unique body, because there is no one-size-fits-all with detoxing. There is no one-size-fits-all with health. And so working with your holistic practitioner can really be a great sort of, wellness team for you as you move forward. So we all know this, food does have a profound capacity to heal, and also has a profound capacity to cause and promote sickness. And we see this in the Western world currently right now with diabetes and heart disease and cancer just rampantly on the rise. And I always like to tell people, every day we have a chance, 3 to 4 times a day, depending on how much you eat, to change the expression of our genes. And we do have control over the expression of our genes by and large, at least 70 to 80% we do. So, I encourage you to understand that it's a really empowering thing to know that you can change your health and what's going on with you just by the meals you eat. And it's a simple and delicious way to do so. And I know this topic today is all about toxicity and toxins in the environment and in our food, and it can certainly be overwhelming. I know if you mention the word toxins to most people, they just kind of shrug their shoulders because they're simply so used to the concept of toxicity. But we can't control everything. But what we can control, we should try to. And today I hope that we can talk a little bit about, the importance of organic foods and the importance of certain detoxifying vegetables and foods that can really aid in the healing process for you. So one thing I would love to talk to you guys today about is eating your sea vegetables. This is kind of a big leap because in America we don't even eat vegetables enough as it is, land vegetables that is. But sea vegetables are amazing and so easy to bring in, even though it may seem daunting, but they're really not that hard to prepare. And so I want to talk to you just about a few of them if we can. So they're really, really mineral-dense sea vegetables. So much more than land vegetables, too, in fact. They're an amazing source of minerals like iodine and magnesium, iron, calcium, copper, zinc, selenium, a lot of the minerals that we talked about today that really have hundreds of functions in our body and really help to, lay the foundation for optimal health and, and give us everything that we need in order to thrive. So there's many different kinds of sea vegetables today. We're not going to go over all of them, but just knowing that they do also contain vitamins like A and B, C, D, and E, and K. And so, essential minerals and essential vitamins work to support our thyroid health, of course, detoxification, our hormone balance, and just at the cellular level, minerals and vitamins, they make up our structure. So we can't, take them for granted. And I'm always of the mind that it's best to get our minerals and vitamins from food sources, and then we can supplement when and if necessary for people. So definitely food first. So, sea vegetables have been used for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years in medical therapies because they're hugely anti-inflammatory. They have amazing antiviral and anti-cancer properties as well. And there's still so much research to be done on these sea vegetables that we will talk about today. But they're your powerhouses, so they're your superfoods. And they're also incredibly powerful at ridding the body of heavy metals, which, as we discussed today, is all around us, or they are all around us.
And Elisa, I have a quick question that somebody might be wondering out there if they're watching this. With the toxins that are in our oceans, with sea vegetables, do you have any ideas about how we can choose the sea vegetables that are safest?
Yeah, that's a great question, and so it is tough because so many of our awesome sea vegetables do come from the coast, right off the coast of Japan, and right now we know that's not the safest place to be consuming food, just with the radiation and the levels of heavy metals in that environment. So there's a couple companies I really like, and if you have a pen and you're listening, you could write these companies down. The companies that I really like to buy and source my sea vegetables from that grow these sea vegetables in essentially very safe environments. The one company is called Maine Coast Sea Vegetables, and they do not source from Japan. So it's called Maine Coast Sea Vegetables. You can mostly find them in Whole Foods, Wegmans, and definitely online at various nutrition websites. And the other ones I like are Navitas Naturals, and finally, Eden Organics is pretty good too, even though some of their products are from Japan at this point. So they claim it to be organic, which I guess if it's coming from the ocean, it can't truly be organic. It's still got a level of toxicity there, but Eden Organic does have a lot of good products. So one of the sea vegetables that we use today, in this recipe that you're given, is the detoxifying carrot and arami slaw. And arami is it's a sea vegetable. You can see it in the picture. It's black, and it's very subtle. It mixes in. You really don't taste it. It's one of the easier ones to introduce to people if they're starting to begin to throw a little sea vegetables in their salad or in their soups or their stews. It's a really easy introduction. And the cool thing about arami is that you don't need to cook it. It's really just dried seaweed. So as long as you just rehydrate it in water until it's soft, it's ready. So it's very little prep time. You don't even have to wash any dishes. You just have to re-soak it in water.
That is probably one of the biggest selling points of that, right? You don't have to cook it. You don't have to do any extra dishes. That's perfect.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that's what, one of the mental things that kind of prohibits a lot of people from getting in the kitchen is they just project a lot of problems and dishes and all these things. But, this is a 3-ingredient recipe essentially in terms of, aside from the dressing. It's a pretty simple recipe, so it's definitely doable. So we just use arami, we use some carrot, we use some cucumber, and both of those are powerhouses in their own right, and we'll talk about them. And the dressing is also very detoxifying and very refreshing. Use a little ginger juice, a little olive oil, lemon juice, and even some lemon zest. I'm just in love with lemon personally, so I use lemon in everything. And then, of course, parsley or mint, but you could use any herb, to be honest. It could be cilantro, and that's fine as well, too. And I used a little bit of coconut aminos, which is a soy substitute. And, for many reasons, I don't consume a lot of soy, and when I do, it's only in fermented form. But this is a great substitute. Coconut aminos, you can find it in Whole Foods. most health food stores, and it tastes just like soy sauce would, but it's made of coconut. And then some salt and water. So it's a pretty straightforward recipe, so I hope you try it out. So Rami, let me talk about this really quickly, even though we did just mention that it's pretty easy to prepare. It's my favorite one to work with for the reasons that I mentioned, but it's incredibly high in minerals. It's incredibly high in calcium and iron. It does have quite a bit of iodine as well. And like I said, all you have to do is just rehydrate it in water. You don't actually have to rehydrate it for 15 to 20 minutes fully. Once it's soft in the water and you put your hand in and you can tell that it's no longer crunchy or dried, then it's ready to go. Just rinse it and use it as you please. So parsley, we use this as one of our go-to detoxifying herbs. I love parsley. I put it in my smoothies. I make pestos. I put it in sauces. I'll just throw it in a salad in its whole leaf form. It's one of the best herbs on the planet. So get familiar with it and use it. It's super high in iron and calcium and manganese. It's also a digestive aid and does, as we are talking about today, help to eliminate some toxins. So that's very important as well. And lemon, I mentioned my love affair with lemon, but it really is one of my favorite things. It's how I start my day every morning is a big jug of water, which Americans, we don't drink enough water out there. So if you're listening, please drink some room temperature water today. And I just take a whole lemon and I pretty much squeeze it in the water, and that's how I start my day. But it's an amazing food that helps alkalize our body, and it actually helps with our detoxification in our liver. So it cannot be underestimated, this amazing, amazing food.
And Elisa, I have to share with you that since you had kind of given this little tip in a recent in-person seminar that we had, I actually started doing it. And it feels amazing in the morning. And if your tolerance to lemon is a little bit low, you can start with just like a little squirt. But I'm up to like a half of a lemon now. And it is such an energizing way to start your day. And it feels so clean and fresh.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I mean, the days when I forget to do it because I'm busy or something happens, I can feel it. And then when I go back to having this amazing, just, simple drink in the morning, I just feel so alert. And it's an easy way, to save money. Who needs coffee? You go to nature's food, and then you can feel energized and alert that way, I think. But I'm glad you tried it, Megan. Good job.
Thanks.
And ginger, also one of my favorite staple foods. It's always in my house. It's not like something I just randomly have. It's one of my staples. So I have it for many reasons, and I use it in many, many ways. But I used it in the salad dressing because you can use it as a ginger juice. You could mince ginger. You could put it, obviously, in smoothies, soups, marinades, of course, teas, as it's commonly known. But it is anti-inflammatory, and it's a digestive aid. It helps promote blood circulation and actually is quite soothing to the GI tract. So this has been used for hundreds and hundreds of years, if not thousands of years, as really a means to heal. So get familiar with ginger. I actually became really familiar with ginger when I was living in Asia, appropriately, and I hadn't really grown up eating ginger. I grew up in a regular American household in New Jersey, and ginger, I didn't even know what ginger was. So when I went to Asia, I became very familiar with ginger and all these spices and herbs. And the other one is cucumber. Cucumber does not get enough props. It's an amazing, amazing vegetable. It's very anti-inflammatory and has actually anti-cancer properties. It's incredibly hydrating too, and I want to make a quick note. The USDA and a lot of organizations out there say that we should be drinking anywhere from 6 to 8 cups of water a day. But so many of these vegetables that we're talking about today are very high in liquid. They're high in water. So, you don't necessarily have to follow that guideline. You really just have to say, well, if I'm eating a cucumber a day in a salad or a smoothie, that's a lot of water in and of itself. So just be mindful. It's a great hydrating tool, and it's also very refreshing too. And this also does help with, because it's high, or it has a source of B5, it does help with phase 1 and phase 2 of liver detoxification, which we spoke about earlier. So it's a keeper. And carrots, one of my favorite vegetables. I don't think they get enough props. I just simply love them. I think they're sweet. I think they're awesome. And they're a very easy snack, and you can have them anywhere. They're high in vitamin A, K, and of course they have fiber, and they're actually quite high in B vitamins as well. And so they help in many respects. Of course, they're going to give us antioxidant power so we can help fight free radicals and ultimately sickness. But they also have anti-cancer benefits. So they're an amazing food. I encourage you to actually, from a culinary point of view, we always peel the skin just for aesthetics, but really the nutrition is also found in the skin. And that goes from most vegetables, your sweet potatoes and things like that. Eat the skin. You know, people in other countries, they're not peeling their vegetables. They're eating the whole food. So I know in America that might be hard for us to get used to because we're so used to, like, you know, baby carrots that are like totally different shapes and have no skin. But really the nutrition is in the skin. And so your detox goals, this is what I want to talk to you guys about. This is super, super important. A detox should be a segue towards a healthier and more vibrant life. I don't believe detoxes, you know, as we said, should be a 10-day detox and then on day 11 you go back to eating the same food you grew up eating. It really is a sort of a doorway towards upgrading your drinks, your foods, and your lifestyle. So you'll notice that in a lot of detoxes that are really high quality, they're not high in a lot of fruit. And the recipe that I gave you today, in fact, had no fruit. So I'm really mindful of that because I know that our liver does have to detoxify fructose. And since our liver is already overburdened and it's already stressed to the max, I don't eat a lot of fruit, which I know is surprising, even though fruit has many health supportive properties. So as we move forward, we talk a little bit about sugar. Sugar is one of the big players in terms of, you know, causing inflammation in the body and also just, you know, causing rampant illness. I mean, most chronic disease out there basically boils down to sugar. We're addicted to sugar as Americans, and it's hard to avoid it. So if you look at any one of these pictures, I'm sure we've had any number of these foods in the past year of our lives, most Americans, maybe even daily. So these are all sort of recipes for disaster in terms of just optimal health and happiness.
And you know, those are, I just can't help but think those are kind of staples of the American diet in general. And it's no wonder that people are feeling so miserable every day when they're loading themselves with these things that break down into sugar in their body.
Yeah, you know, and that's interesting, Megan, is that I think a lot of people just think it's normal now. You know, I think they become familiar with headaches and waking up feeling not great. I don't think a lot of people actually remember what it feels like to feel amazing, to feel alert, to feel like you have great memory, to feel like you can control your emotions and your cravings. I just think that we've gotten so used to a way of living that we just, you know, we think it's normal. But those foods, those are the staple foods, and those are the foods that really kind of cause our chronic disease and even our depression and anxiety. They heighten depression and anxiety because they ultimately, you know, ruin our blood sugar levels and they ruin inflammation. So it's important to kind of segue away from those foods as much as possible. So in my practice, I do something which is a great tool for anybody who's out there. It's a virtual 28-day sugar boot camp where really, since, you know, sugar is one of the things that I definitely remove from people's diets when we talk about detoxifying, at least harmful sugars anyway, it's an amazing opportunity for you guys to understand that you don't have to let your cravings own you. You can actually be in control. And I know if you're listening, that might sound like crazy talk, like, how can I possibly be in control of my cravings? They're so big. They take up such a big part of my energy in my day, but you know, we can, and we're designed to be in control of our cravings. When we're out of control, that really means we're off balance. So I thank you guys. Check me out at culinarypharmacy.com, and I have lots of recipes and information and other teleclasses up there as well. And thank you, Patients Medical, for having me. It's been wonderful. And drink some lemon water today and make that salad.
Indeed. And you know, when Elisa made the salad at our in-person seminar, it was such a huge hit. I think I ended up eating like 6 or 7 cups of that you made. She put them in these little Dixie cups. It was amazing. So thanks again for joining us, Elisa. Always very insightful and give us lots of great information. And now I just invite you, the listener, get on track with your health. It's really not that difficult. It could be as simple as just putting some lemon and some water in the morning, or maybe even just supporting the processes that your body is already doing for detoxification. Maybe it's just letting go of 1 can of soda or you know, some bread or something like that. But whatever you do, just try to do one thing right now. Decide one thing that you're going to do today to help your body detox even more effectively than it already is, so you can start feeling really amazing. And if you want more information about our doctors, as we were mentioning, if you really want to boost your detoxification of your body, it's great to work with a holistic doctor or nutritionist or somebody like Elisa who can help counsel you through the process. So I invite you to come to patientsmedical.com and check out our doctors and holistic practitioners here. Gives a headshot, a bio, a little bit about their journey to how they came to holistic medicine, and that will give you a better idea of who you can work with. And we even have people who are available to work by phone too. I know Elisa does that, and some of our staff members do as well. You can also get great information on our blog. So our doctors contribute to our blog, and we try to put timely information up there that is concerning topics that are vital to your health right now. So if you want to check our blog out, you can just go to our website, patientsmedical.com, and click on blog. If you're listening to this, you may already be on our resources page, so that is the right-hand tab on our website as well. But you can find a lot of recordings, videos, press releases, and other things that our doctors have done in the media too, and just check them out. And of course, you can always subscribe to our blog or subscribe to our newsletter, our email newsletter as well. And those are all ways that you can keep in touch, even if you're not working with one of our doctors right now. So to get more information or to schedule an appointment, give us a call at 212-679-9667 or email media@patientsmedical.com. Again, it's 212-679-9667 or email media@patientsmedical.com, so we can get you the information that you're looking for on health and well-being. So we look forward to seeing you or hearing from you. And again, when you have a detox story to tell yourself, I'd love to hear it. So email me at media@patientsmedical.com. And we look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.